but I don't even use eBay anymore because like Amazon pretty much rendered everything useless. But yeah, so like all these cash apps and things, there's just too many apps for things in general.
I think the part that people are not looking at is the big picture, which is as a society of spenders, as a consumer culture, we're spending a lot of money in 15-cent and 5-cent increments, but we're spending it in such a speed and way where we're really just like missing a whole chunk of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you kind of step back from it a little bit, it'll give you a little bit of space to then walk back into it and be like, okay, well, you know, I don't need to have 3 different apps, you know, taking care of this stuff. But if you're trying to do business on some levels, like even in the entertainment business,
I could see that for you know small business purposes.
It would be
like
so
that.
much easier for me to.
And you know what?
You know,
one of my roommates does have like they're an artist, so they do. Okay. So I guess that makes more sense now that we've talked this out. But for me personally, I'm just like, yo, all these fucking apps to manage your money is just like it's a lot. It's not even to manage your money; it's to spend it and send it to other people. It's just too much.
Just to move it. You're moving digital money though.
I'm gonna just give you this cash. Like,
well, it's not digital. Like you're moving digital money versus moving hard money.
Yeah, you know I guess I just prefer to move hard money.
Yeah, because it's actually worth something.
Yeah, just here.
Because if the system says nope, then you don't have any money. It just says 0.
Yeah.
You know, I had this and I have printouts from yesterday, and it's like, well, the system is saying 0 for everything everywhere.
That's a scary thought.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. But for people who are like...
Everyone buy gold. No.
Run! But it's like...
Get your gold bars!
For people... I learned this from Solomon Dixon, who's a poet in Buffalo. He's an author and like 15 other things as well. But he was saying like, what's more valuable, this dollar in my hand or... And then he was like picking stuff in the room. He was like, so would you trade me, you know, $1 for that chair? And the person was like... Yeah, so they got up, gave him the chair, and got the $1. And he was like, all right.
Now you ain't got nowhere to sit. Well, I guess you could sit on the floor if you don't mind.
Right, but then he was like, okay, now, would you give me that $1 for this chair back? And the person was like, no, put it in their pocket. And he was like, right, the $1 is more valuable than what you bought. You gave away the valuable thing to get something that's not as valuable as it. You know what I'm saying? So he was trying to, you know, it was dope to look at it that way where I'm like, wow, you know, we don't have to spend and send money and just accept these fees and charges just because, you know what I'm saying? But
I understand that those apps and companies have to make their money too.
Absolutely.
But, like, they are just like nickel and diming, literally nickel and diming the shit out of people.
Absolutely. And that's,
you know. That book? That was such a good book. I feel like almost like every social work major read Nickeled and Dimed. Yeah. Yeah, you read that?
No.
Oh.
I've heard of it though.
Oh, such a good book.
I'm not a social worker.
I thought you like took some social work classes in college. I just assumed.
Not social work.
Yeah, but like you did in that realm of shit. So like anybody that takes along those realms of things, I did organizational. It's like that or like Who Moved My Cheese. Like those were like the 2 fucking books that like everyone had to read when I was in college.
I did organizational leadership and stuff like that. Like I got more into like I would be less counselor, more principal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm a boss. Anyway, and excuse me, folks. But it's just that, you know, money, the paper money is more valuable than the digital money. But then, like you said, there are minerals and elements, you know,
that are more valuable than paper money.
Right, absolutely. Because if someone says, okay, well, I'm not honoring this paper money.
You gonna honor this gold bar, though.
You absolutely will, because that is worth something, because gold actually does something. Mm-hmm. Gold is a mineral
gold's
what
used to
something.
actually back our dollar.
You see what I'm saying?
No, it doesn't anymore. Well, we're just creating money out of thin air. But that's a different podcast episode, because we ain't got enough time for all that.
This is the greatest podcast ever, everybody. It's your boy, Capital DC. I'm here with Tamika. And,
hello.
You know, we stand above the below radar, if you hear me. And, you know, if you understand what we're talking about, we appreciate you. You know, we like to get a little intellectual, intelligent. We like to have some theories and things like that thrown around. But then, of course, if you don't know what we was talking about, then enjoy some of the laughter from earlier in the episode. you know, we're going to bring the ratchetness right back.
Yeah, speaking of ratchet, candy corn. Trash.
Halloween's coming up.
Yes, and candy corn is disgusting.
Man, listen, if you have any candy corn, first of all,
throw it in the garbage. Step 2, get a Reese cup.
Facts.
Step 3, eat that Reese cup and be happy.
Do not buy candy corn. If you don't buy the candy corn, then that means when they do the 50, 60, 70% off 2 weeks after Halloween, then Deanna can come through and buy all the stale candy corn the way she like it. Other than that...
Also, if you're going to be one of those people that hand out candy corn, fuck you. Yep. There's a 90% chance that your house will get egged or TP'd that night, and it's because you handed out trash-ass candy corn.
Seriously, if you are dealing with that issue, it is probably because you're handing out candy corn specifically, or sponge candy, which some people
or
like.
Those peanuts, the marshmallow. It's like they're like Peeps, but they're peanut shaped. Trash, also trash. Listen, name brand candy. I'm sorry, kids these days, they know. Like after 5, you can't be handing out dollar store shit to them. They know the difference. They know what's up.
And it's really bizarre. You really can't get
They be like, this double bubble?
You can't get the miniature version of it either.
No, it has to be fun size or bigger.
Really, I'm saying like, I don't know about fun size anymore.
Oh, I think you just gotta give them a couple.
I don't know. The fun size one's not tasting that right. I had a Snickers one the other day. It just wasn't.
I love the minis. I'll eat like 12 of them in one sitting and not feel any remorse because I'm like, they're so tiny. But I really just ate like 2 fucking candy bars.
Oh my
like God. King size.
Oh my God. She had 2 king size.
Diabetes. I washed them down with water.
I washed them down with water. I said that to my doctor when I went. He was like, we should do blood work. I'm not laughing at myself for real, but...
I'm laughing at the terrible decisions that you and I both make.
He was like, we need to do blood work. I was like, damn, he didn't even chuckle or nothing. He was like, your health is not a joke. I'm like, dang, bro.
But my life is... No.
Hey. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here, to make you laugh, make you think, you know what I'm saying?
All the things. We want to make you feel things. We want to inspire you. And if we piss you off, that's cool too. That's a feeling.
Don't forget to comment, so we know what's up.
Yeah, if you want us to talk about something specifically, if you got questions.
Actually, I did have a request, and I'm being serious. I had a real request.
Okay.
Where our good friend Marissa, she was saying that she wanted to hear my thoughts or our thoughts for real on sexuality and transgender things that's going on right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, for sure. If it come up.
Hell yeah.
And it's up. So
yeah, we can just write that down and make sure we table that shit for next week, because I will say all the things and talk all the days. We might have to have 2 episodes next week. What you doing Saturday? Might be recording on Saturday.
I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it. So how about we start it, and then, we'll come back with part 2 for next week.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know how to start this off because.
Well, what was her question? Was there a question specifically?
She didn't really have a question as much as she was like, I want to hear what y'all got to say. Just in general, because when we ended the last episode, we were talking about it when we ended 2 episodes ago.
Okay.
We were going into it.
Yeah. Well, I'll start it by saying this. In my house, there is the updated pride flag hanging up with the brown and the black stripe.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a brown and black stripe now?
Yes.
I didn't know y'all was including everybody.
Mm-hmm. And my home is super queer, so...
Okay.
Yeah. As far as trans and sexual... sexuality is fluid. We learned that very young, and...
yeah.
For your sexual preference, your fling, your kink, whatever it is, as long as it's consensual, it's not my business.
True.
And like I said, as long as it's consensual and safe and all of that stuff, you go ahead. I love everybody. I love love. If I had to label myself personally, I guess I would be like bi or pansexual, I guess. I don't really know specifically. Like, if you're up for the challenge, that is me, step on up. Step right up. Come on, come all.
Next
come together.
Shooting a shot.
Right?
Jay! Hey, how you doing? And he falls to the floor.
Followed by Jay. Hey, girl.
That's what's up.
I think it's sad that, like, our current mindset as a society can't be more accepting.
True.
It's disappointing. And especially in the African American community, I think it's disappointing because I'm just like, listen, we're already scrutinized, killed, all the things, struggling over the color of our skin, which is shit we couldn't control and shit we didn't choose to be, shit we didn't ask for, shit we didn't sign up for. And the fact that, like, we can't extend that empathy and that correlation to include homosexuality, transgenders, all of that encompasses the LGBTQIA plus community is disheartening and disappointing, because it's just like, you should get it. We should get it. Like, we go through it on a much larger scale, like, a much larger scale. So how can you not have empathy to another group of people, and specifically Black trans women? I mean, they're being murdered at an alarming rate, and it angers me. Like, we need, as Black folks, we need to protect each other.
I agree.
And in communities within that community, it's a little disappointing to know that, like, we extra have to protect each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's but see,
and I mean, I try to look at it from the standpoint of people that disagree, but it's also just from, like, well, if you mind your fucking business.
I think that's the part where it's like, once it becomes mind your business, then that's when it's like, okay, well, some of the stereotypical generic things that people say, where the conversation usually goes a little left, I think that's where we start getting into the left part of the conversation. For sure.
I just mean, like, mind your business in the sense that, like, I'm not asking you who you fucking what you do, so...
But that's the thing, it's like...
It shouldn't be an issue who I fuck and what I do.
And I also it shouldn't be put in my face either. Like, it shouldn't be about that. And I think that's where I'm coming from. I just don't understand, and I'm talking about from the beginning of it all. I don't understand why, who, and how you get down. Why is that at the forefront? If it is, I'm hoping for most people it's not at the forefront of what they're standing for, because that shouldn't be the point. It shouldn't be about who you sleep with. It should be about... But it is. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And that's why I'm on the outside of it, of not the whole issue or caring or anything. I'm on the outside of the people who don't agree, I guess. I don't even know what that is. Like, I know it exists. I've heard people talk. But I'm like, how do you care? Like, how are you not minding your business, or how do you care when it's not affecting you personally? And then when it comes over to, well, what about my children? Because I've heard people say those lines. And I'm like, well, teach them.
Exactly.
If you don't, then they may choose something, not knowing what's going on. And
well, nobody chooses.
But this is what I'm saying. It's not... Even I'm using the language for a purpose. It's not that a person is choosing this person because it exists. They're choosing this person because they've had communication with this person that leads them to understand, maybe this is where I want to go, or yes, this is where I want to go, or I would like to try this out. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
going to label it. I'm trying not to label it, rather.
Yeah, yeah.
To say that a person is like, well, you know, you shouldn't be with a female. And I'm like, well, I shouldn't be lying. I shouldn't be cheating. I shouldn't be doing some of the things I do. So I'm gonna. That's why I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
I stop at that before I even get to who you're doing or what you're doing or why
Right?
you did it.
Like,
You know
my
what I'm
shit ain't
saying?
straight, so
Yeah. So I definitely get caught up on, like, why are we having the conversation?
oh yeah, the
Not,
fact that we still even have to have the conversation,
yeah.
I think is total bullshit.
Now there's a personal thing I have because I don't want to be phony.
Mm-hmm.
I do have an issue with what I've seen in the professional world as some homosexual or open identified I'm a homosexual people who are like, we should only hire homosexual people. Like, that is very real from my point of view.
For sure.
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? And I don't agree with that because I feel like what you
Well,
were saying
I don't
is
agree
like,
in any discrimination or type of
right. And that's why I'm like, it doesn't, we're, like you said.
But I also feel like, you know, if this was like a after school place for gay and lesbian youth, there should be a, I'm not saying there should only be homosexual staff or only straight staff. There should be like a mix, I think.
And I've never experienced that personally. I've never seen straight staff
I think that
working
staff
with,
should be diverse in all aspects,
you know what I'm
because I
saying?
think that that's how we grow, that's how we learn,
And
that
you know
helps
what?
everybody.
I've had conversation with a local organization, and they were doing great work as far as I saw at the time. Once again, this is 10 years ago, but I noticed that it wasn't a whole lot of how would I say that, openly straight people? Like, why? It never came up.
Yeah, well,
You know
why
what I'm
would
saying?
it?
And that's what I'm saying. So if a person was working for that organization and they were straight, I wouldn't necessarily know, if you will, because they wouldn't have any of the stereotypes for me to attach it to.
For sure.
So when I get into this conversation, I'm just still setting this up where I'm like, yo, we're really talking about stereotypes here.
Yeah.
For real. We're talking about people who carry themselves in a stereotypical way.
For sure, but just because they carry themselves in a stereotypical way doesn't mean that they should be harassed or discriminated. And I say that
absolutely, I
for
agree
any
with that. person.
Like, if we're talking about, you know, women that dress provocatively and like slut shaming and things like that, you know, I want to do a slut walk. Like, just because you're dressed a certain way or you carry yourself a certain way doesn't mean that people get to openly harass you in any way, shape, or form. And that goes to people that dress provocatively, that goes to the flamers, that goes to the leather bears, that goes towards black men with hoodies on, that goes towards...
Yeah. But just like, I'm glad you said that. So just like with black men with hoodies on, it does or should, or in some realms, it comes down to what's coming out of that person's mouth.
Yes.
And how that person is carrying themselves.
And that's what should really matter,
you know what I'm saying? But now that's
all the other things.
This is so my point in all of this talking is, now I'm saying, can you give me any suggestions on how I'm supposed to address what we were just talking about? The people who are carrying themselves in a stereotypical way and being jerks. Because I'm not the person... You can only
address the jerk behavior.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But
I'm
you can't make it about the homosexuality.
That's what I'm saying.
Or the stereotype, I should say, because we're not necessarily just talking about
But that's what I'm saying. So if a guy with the hoodie on is yo, nah I mean, this I mean, and I say, hey bro, you can't be doing all that hood shit up in here. I'm really not supposed to say that.
Well,
professionally,
how you're phrasing it is
yeah, I'm not supposed to say that.
Yeah,
period.
Yeah.
So I do understand that in translation that would be, yo, bro, you can't do gay stuff, quote unquote. You know what I mean? That's not right.
So you just frame it as professionalism.
And that's where I'm looking at, where it's like, okay, so how do I speak about that outside of the professional? What would be a couple of pointers of how to speak about it?
Well, why does it matter outside of the workplace?
Because we still interact with each other outside of the workplace.
Are they still being a jerk to you? Ooh,
in this situation. That's next door. I thought it was my house. I'm like, no,
well, then
no.
why are you still interacting with this person outside of the workplace if they're an asshole?
Sometimes you got to do that. I do plays. I go to church sometimes.
Okay, no, I'm genuinely asking.
I'm also giving real examples.
No, I wasn't sure if this was just like, yo, I hate this dude, but I still hang out with him. Like,
see, that's the thing. Like, I don't have any problems, and like, I guess if I was to say I wouldn't feel comfortable hanging with someone who was transgender or homosexual, something like that. I only wouldn't be okay if they were doing some shit that I'm not with. You heard how I said that?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
But did you establish, like...
But, like, some shit I'm not with is, like, you want to do cocaine.
Yeah.
I don't care who you having sex with. That's not really my thing.
Yeah, then...
If you want to, like...
Then that's where you establish the boundary of either...
You want to start doing freaky sexual stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey...
Then you either say, I'm not with it, or you remove yourself from the situation.
Right. But, I mean, to me, those are extremes. Where I'm like, before we
those
even
are
get
options. Why do they have to be extremes? They're just options.
Well, I mean, they're extremes as an example. Most people don't walk up to me talking about sex of any walk of life. Nobody comes up to me like, hey, sex stuff. Most people just don't approach me with sex
For
anyway.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like...
Well, I'm saying even so with your cocaine reference, you could be like, yo, I'm not really comfortable with you doing that around me. And they could be like, well, it's too fucking bad. I'm going to snort this line anyways. And then you go from there. Or they could be like...
had that happen.
Or they could be like, my bad, I'll go do it in the bathroom. Or they could be like, my bad, I won't do it around you.
I was like...
And then you act accordingly
I literally was like, yo, I don't like this, and I'm sorry, so I'm going to turn around and let you do your thing. Like, I was just like, my bad, bro. Because personally, in that moment, I was in an emotional place.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I was happy to be able to separate myself and let people live their life, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like we was Tony Montana and it was just blowing all over the room and it was crazy. It was like some party shit, and I was like, this is party shit. This is what happens when you go to parties. You know what I'm saying?
Not my type of party shit.
Right, but because I literally put myself in like religious or like just sanitary, if you will, like not sanitary, but just clean. You know what I'm saying? It was so clean you can smell the smoke, the cigarette smoke on people when they came into the room. So, you know, I hadn't seen a lot of the stuff that I knew happened with my eyes.
Yeah.
So, you know, for my personal actual approach to the whole topic is my eyes are in my head. So I do have real reactions when I see some transgender people, period. I'll have reactions. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not used to the sight. So I have my own reactions within myself that I have to. But
are you like, oh, that's disgusting? Like,
it don't matter. And this is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what that is, as long as I'm handling that within me. It could
exactly.
Be,
like,
listen,
as long as it's internal, you can feel how you want to feel. But like,
I was presented with a situation where it was like, what if you are? They said, what if you go to the bar? You sitting at the bar, you chilling. You know, you out. Who knows? You not with your woman. You just sitting at the bar. You just at the bar. So I'm sitting there, you know, and a guy sits down and we having a great conversation. We talk about UFC or whatever I'm into. He says, yo, I'm going to watch the fight in my room. You want to watch? We go to the room. We're watching the fight. He's getting a little sexual. I'm like, yo, bro. And he's like, well, you know, I was born a woman. However, I don't know. I'm sorry to be ignorant. I don't know how that conversation will go. And the person was like, so now are you interested in this person? Like, are you interested in this person? And I was sitting there like, well, I had to actually think, because my issue, I always talk in almost in a joking way sometimes, where I'd be like, I don't like penises. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, I really don't. So I understand why I'm not interested. But for that situation, I'm like, well, he's living his life and the penis is now not an issue. Mm-hmm. So now what?
That's up to you.
You know, so it really opened my eyes to the diversity of feelings, the diversity of options, the diversity of walks of life and lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like, people. Yeah,
I mean, when I came out as a lesbian when I was like 19, that was a whole mindfuck where it was just like, I had dated dudes, that was what I knew, and then it was like, okay, I love these women. Hey, boobs are great, and I still feel that way. And then I exclusively dated women for like a decade. And then there was a man that I was attracted to, and it was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, I had my own internal issue. And then, like, I was telling my friends, like, oh, I met someone. And then they're like, oh, what's her name? And I'm like, well, his name is.
I was one of those friends. And then,
like, even some of, like, my gay friends were like, you fucking dudes now? And I'm just like, well, I'm just fucking people now, actually. So, like.
And I believe that's what we're walking into. And I saw the need to understand what's going on. And even how to, like you said, mind my business. And it's like.
And I don't mean it in like a shitty, like, mind your own fucking business way. I just mean it in like a...
If you're going to be an asshole, we do mean it in a shitty way. Like, if you're going to be an asshole to somebody, yo, just, what the fuck?
If you're going to be an asshole, you got it coming to you. But don't be an asshole just because you don't like something that you see. Like, me and my ex-fiance, when we would go visit my parents in the South, like, people would literally... Like, it's two black women holding hands. And, like, people would literally stop and stare, like, stop it. And it's just like,
those are the situations I was talking about before. Like, well, what are some suggestions? Because it's like the stopping and staring is not, man, I don't know those people, but I can say that I've had experiences where I was staring at this dude. He had golden blonde hair and he was dressed very nice, and I was definitely at a labeled gay bar. It was labeled a gay bar, but my friends own it and they was open. I was like, yo, I'm going to support my friends. I'm gonna have a drink. I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna go home because I support my friends.
Yeah.
So I went. I'm staring, but I'm staring at this dude because he had golden brown hair and he looked like one of the Golden Lords from Meteor Man.
Did you tell him that?
Nah,
maybe you should have.
I would have said that, but he was like, you must like what you see because you staring. So he approached me like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I didn't realize that I had, quote unquote, approached him with my eyes because I was staring at him. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't know if I was questioning. He didn't know if I was straight. He didn't know if I was gay. He just knew I'm in the club. You were staring
at him. You're in the gay club. So.
Nice looking guy staring at me. I'm nice looking. You nice looking. He was like, hey, what's up?
I mean, that's expected. You're in his safe space.
You feel me?
Like, you're in his space.
And I didn't want him to feel weird. So I was like, I was being weird because I didn't want him to feel. And that's when I was like, yo, I guess my message to people who...
don't make it weird.
Who vibe with me, who vibe with me, I guess, who like be like, yeah, I identify with him. It's like, yo, I wasn't offended. I understood what was going on. You know what I'm saying? But then I had to, once again, I took that situation and said, what if we wasn't here? What if we were at Walmart? And I'm staring at this man. No. Yeah. I'm saying, but remember, I started it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to take responsibility.
Yeah.
I was staring, and I was like, yo, he looked like in my head. I was
But
by
maybe
myself.
at Walmart, you would have been like, you look like homeboy from Meteor Man.
Or maybe not. Maybe I'd have been in Walmart staring at this man's hair.
Yeah, you never know.
And he would have been like, hey, what's up? And I'd have been like, oh, hey, how you? I wouldn't have even thought of it the same way because we're not in the club. So he wouldn't have been offering me a drink. And I know what that means. But it's like, I felt like I had an opportunity to really face the education I've gotten, plus my own upbringing with what my daddy said and what church said and what all these different things that usually people say are hang-ups.
Yeah.
I was able to just turn him down because if he was, I don't know, I'm sorry about that, y'all. But even if it was my friend's girlfriend, if she had been just drunk and came and hit on me in that same situation, I'd have been like, nah, girl, we good. I know you booed up. You know what I mean?
You take your drunk ass home.
Hell no, girl, your girlfriend crazy. But still,
I'm gonna call and text my boy right now. Let him know, hey, your bitch drunk. I'm dropping her off at the house. You want to meet up at her house and pick her up out my car? Send.
I'm recording everything right now.
By the way, I'm going to Instagram live this. Please watch.
Yeah, man, we just listening to music. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see my man.
She sleep, but that's cool.
My man said, can you pick up my girl real quick? Or like, we recording the whole thing and we lying the whole time.
Got 3 other females in the car to make sure everybody's safe. No one's coerced.
But see, it's stuff like that. Even that example, I'm like, yo, am I comfortable with myself? And I've always been comfortable with myself, period. So I really don't be understanding how some people get so bent out of shape. And then I consider, like we were told, and like it usually is in the stereotype, you may have some questioning going on for yourself. Therefore, seeing people be open and free about their life is making you say, I want some of that. Mm-hmm. Now, did I want some of the Meteor Man hair dude thing?
Maybe you wanted that hairstyle.
Yeah. I wanted to see Meteor Man. I wanted to see Golden Lords. I wanted that shit to be gang gang.
Meteor Man.
That shit was fire to me. I'm sorry. That was my thing. Meteor Man was my shit. So I was like, I really wanted that. And I did have a want. And he, misinterpreted it from my point of view as I believe if it was me looking at a female. She's staring at me because I got a big ass head or I got a nice shirt. It don't have to be because of my dick. It don't got nothing to do with sex. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like, yo, it just helped. It helped a lot to really consider what if I wasn't me for a second? What if I wasn't feeling the way I feel? What if I didn't think the way I think? What if I did want the things, I'd be like, I don't really feel comfortable with that. You know what I mean? Like, or just definite flat out no's. I have no's with women. And I'm like, no, I don't like that from anyone. I don't want anybody to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helped me a lot was personalizing it. Like, just making it personal. I have a personal relationship with people, and,
And also, I think it's funny because, like, not funny, like, haha funny, but, like, odd funny. I feel like men, when they're like, yes, I'm gay, I'm a homosexual, it's suddenly like, oh, they think that, like, they want every man. And it's like, no, like, no, like there's still standards and people are still picky. Like, even me, who I date both genders, bitch is still picky as fuck. Like, don't get it twisted. The shit.
Like, I'm gay, so I accept anything.
Yeah, no. If anything, I'm probably even pickier. Like,
yeah, from my experience, which is hearsay, that's usually how it goes.
For sure, and I think that's also a common misconception where people are just like, oh, well, you like guys, you like all the guys, like you like girls, you like all the girls.
See,
and
I think
like,
this is
more so for gay men. For gay women, it's more fantasized. Because then you want to think, like, which is funny because, like, when I tell people, like, yes, I sleep with women, they're like, oh, that's probably hot. And I'm like, yeah, but I date women that look like you. So, like, is it really? Like, I crush the fantasy real fucking quick where I'm like, I date more androgynous looking females and women, so go ahead if that's what. I remember when I was at ECC.
Yo, I don't know. I don't have a problem, but.
Yes, you do.
I'm like, yo, I don't see male when a female dresses masculine. I don't see male.
So, yeah, me neither, but.
I get it. And I'm like, I've had people like, yeah, but what if she was wearing boxers? And I'm like, what if she was wearing nothing? What if she was wearing.
Sometimes boxers are comfortable as
panties is comfortable as hell. They made to be that way. Like, what the. Yo, what are you talking about? These are
all
clothes.
The things are comfortable. Sometimes underwear are comfortable. Sometimes
she got a buzz cut.
Sometimes going commando is comfortable.
Listen, she got a fade. Once again, I had
a fade.
I've done theater, so it was mad women who had baldies and fades and all of that growing up, and they was cold as hell.
Remember my weird spiky hair phase?
Oh, I remember all of that.
Yeah.
Tamika was out here alternative-ing it up, y'all. I said that right too.
AF as fuck.
But that's the thing, man. It's like, going back to my example, like, okay, I meet the dude in the bar, and now we here. Okay, one, I'm personally like, nah, I'm not with the bring me all the way to the room and tell me type shit. I feel like that's a little late. I'm very open, very talkative. You could have said that earlier than now. But in my nasty fantasy side, it was like, hey, ain't nobody gonna think y'all fucking, bruh. Go for it, dog. Yeah, I mean. And I was like, like, I like boobs.
But you might like it, so
I
go
don't know.
for it.
Like, okay, it's vagina. I like boobs. If surgery has happened, maybe, I don't know if I'm going to be swayed in one way or another. But then that's when I'm like, okay, now you don't have clothes on, but you still have a beard. If it's that, I'm like, man, I really had to. What I'm trying to say is I took the time to break down these different places and just see how I feel. And I'm uncomfortable because
but most people that are in their phase of transitioning, if they've had like surgery, like if they're transitioning from male to female and they've had surgery to get breasts, they're not going to have a beard as well. Like the facial hair and stuff.
No, I mean
like
surgery to have the breast removed.
Oh, okay. So they're
transitioning
from female to male.
Right.
Okay,
So that was the situation. Like if this person was transitioning from female to male and hasn't gone through with like a surgery to somehow, I don't know. I'm swimming into territory I don't know now.
They haven't had the gender reaffirming surgery.
Yes, and that's the language I wanted.
The language changes all the time.
That's why I'm
so hard to keep
that's
up.
the language I wanted to use.
It's so fucking hard to keep up. Even I misspeak. Like I remember a few episodes ago, I had said something about like other denominational churches, and then I went back and listened to it. I was like, "You're a fucking idiot. It's places of worship, you asshole." Like
it's. So when you grow up in a certain time
I do my
frame,
best. I do my best.
When you grow up in a certain time frame, you learn it a certain way, and then it changes because times change, and then you have to relearn it, and it's tough because you.
But it's important to relearn.
Absolutely, it's tough, but it should be done, and that's why
it takes work. It takes effort. It's hard. It's never easy.
Right, and that's why we're having these conversations because I've never heard anybody have this conversation before. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't apprehensive about talking about it as much as. I don't want to be offensive by mistake, so I will need some forgiveness to anybody.
Yeah, I feel like being offensive by mistake is allowed, especially.
I hope so, because I may have.
We're all human. I know I've misspoke. I know I've offended people when I haven't to. There's allowances for accidentally hurting people's feelings. It's the intentional assholes that are the fucking problem.
Yeah.
You just want to be an asshole to be a fucking asshole.
Well,
because you don't like it or it makes you uncomfortable. And that's where my whole, mind your business comes in and you wouldn't be uncomfortable. Like that's where my art, because I feel like your anger comes from a place that you're uncomfortable. And I get that. But then just mind your own fucking business and then you won't be uncomfortable.
And see, that's where I'm a little bit different because
if you're not going to make it a teachable moment or a moment for growth, then just remove yourself from the moment.
I stopped blaming other people for my feelings is how I say it, but I stopped associating my feelings with the person in the room. Mm-hmm. So if I start feeling nervous...
you minded your own business.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think people know what it means to mind their own business.
Yeah, it's not necessarily just being ignorant to the whole thing. It's it could be taking your emotional feelings, whatever's triggering you at that moment, it's kind of acknowledging that and taking yourself out of that space for a moment because it's probably not even about you. And I say that as a narcissistic ass Leo. So
I mean, I actually was like, I have to be able to metaphorically on some level practice some mindfulness to realign myself. You know what I'm saying? And I would hate for anybody, like I said before about the people who hire and then they want to hire, just us only because that's all I can trust. That's the vibe.
Don't get me wrong. If I had my own business, I would be more inclined to hire women of color because that would be the space that I would like to create. Would they be specifically
by women of color who share your exact?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I would open it up to women of color and then black men and then other black people, or then other people of color, and then white women, and then white men. That would be my ideal hierarchy.
And then you would have some shitty black employees, boy.
I probably, but you know what? I've been a manager, and I've hired shitty people of all ages, all races. So I can sit there and say, ideally, I would that would be, my ideal world. It would just be, a sisterhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A safe space. Type of thing. But that is also unrealistic as fuck. And I know that. So I would just try to hire the best people to create a safe space for everybody that's hired.
But that's the thing.
And even that's unrealistic sometimes.
Only if you are trying to be loyal to some people who are assholes. You know what I'm saying?
If you're a shitty employee, you're a shitty employee.
That's what I'm saying. It's we got to stop hiring people that we're they just trying to collect this check, so they going to be here. We got to stop being about butts and seats. We got to be about work getting done.
And passion. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's it's hard for me to work somewhere and take the salary seriously and just be about the mission and all of that. When it's a bunch of bullshit, and I know y'all spending money on bullshit, like you or hide it better from me, or do it right.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And you can't hide it from me because I know better. So do it right. That's the option. Do it right.
Well, maybe you start your own and do it right.
Yeah. That's what I've been trying to do, but I've been trying to work with Buffalonians. So it's been very Buffalonian.
That happens sometimes.
Until recently.
Buffalo be real Buffalo sometimes. Until it's not. Yeah. Then Buffalo be like, whoa, Buffalo?
Oh, shoot. Look at you. You got your lace front, dude.
What? Bill 7-0? What? No,
Come on.
Never.
Come on. And then all of a sudden it's like, so you started using drugs again? You didn't have to jump all the way back into the party scene.
You got right back on the meth?
You could have slow walked into it. Right. Damn. I thought we had 3 weeks.
Just had a drink first?
Like you dove all the way into the crack of it.
Slippery slope back into that shit?
Damn. So I don't know, man. I mean, once again, as I said before, I don't want to be offensive because I don't want anybody offending me, and that was my point. I really want to treat others the way I want to be treated, and that's kind of why I go. That's the
golden rule.
That's what I'm saying. Is if it's the golden rule, then gold is the most expensive and most valuable thing that's actually usable. Then we should try to use
follow the rule.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you follow the dollar rule, then that means you can shit on people and treat them like they're not your asset. You know what I'm saying? Like the money is the asset when really it's not. So Tamika is more of an asset to me than Tamika giving me money.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I'll take your money though. No, I'm just playing.
Well, of course, because money gets things. But it's like the time we've known each other, I've gained more from just knowing you.
Oh, yes. Like, this friendship is invaluable.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. And as most people will say, you don't find it everywhere.
No.
Or most people don't have that, where it's genuine platonic love. You know what I mean? Like, what? Where,
That's fam.
Man.
That's fam.
So that's why we doing it. That's how we keep it real. You know what I'm saying? That's how we keep it the greatest. Say it with me. The greatest podcast ever. Ever. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Capital DC. We wanted to give you the extra long episode because we left y'all in a drought.
We did. Things happened. I do love my new place, though.
Is it pretty?
It's nice. I painted my room. I put new carpet down. My parents got me some lovely dressers from IKEA. My roommates say that my room looks like it fell off an IKEA catalog, to which it may or may not. I'm not gonna, and I ain't even mad at it. But it's a nice little cozy spot. I got a couple bedside lamps, my air diffuser, so it always smells like lavender in my room. Like that's
what's up.
Yeah, it's nice.
Take note, folks. Lavender.
It's my safe space. I love it. It's very relaxing. And I got a new mattress. So, new mattresses are great until the next morning.
Yeah.
My struggle to get out of bed is so fucking real. Like, I'm telling you, like, okay, if I shower, I could shower in 5 minutes, right? Like, I could shower in 5 minutes, get dressed in 3.5 because I don't wear makeup. I have dreadlocks. I already picked out my clothes mentally. I just don't need earrings today, and my shoes are slip-ons. Let's go. We can sleep for another 15 minutes. You hit that snooze button, girl. And it's a memory foam one. Ooh. So it's a 12-inch piece of memory foam. Ooh. Oh, it's like just sleeping on a cloud.
I don't like it, but I know it's real nice and gentle.
It's a firm memory. Because I need a firm mattress, but it's a firm memory foam.
Then I'm jealous.
I got it at Sam's Club on sale.
I'm not as jealous because that's affordable. So
I got it because it was on sale.
I'm excited and happy for you.
I can't wait to get into bed at night, but then in the morning I'm like, I want to get out of bed. And today was extra hard. I could hear the rain hitting my window, and I was already like, nope. Don't even want to be out in this rain, in this weather. I just stay nice in my warm, toasty bed, and I haven't even busted out the electric blanket yet. When I make that shit into a cocoon, shit, I'll see y'all in 2020, okay?
I bust out the heater, man. We need the space heater already.
I'll be like, Barbara Walters, this is 2020. That's when I'll see y'all.
Man. So we want y'all to drive safe, live safe, be
Use
safe.
your brakes and your blinkers.
Facts. You know what I'm saying?
Make me not want to ram you, please. I have minor road rage. Like, drivers piss me off and they irritate me to no end. And I will cuss you out in my car. But, like, I don't honk at people. I don't flip people off. But, like, I could be, usually when I'm in the car, I'm on the phone with my mom, and it's really funny because she'll be like, how was your day? And I'm like, oh, my day was really good. I started off in the falls, and can you fucking go, please? Jesus fucking Christ. I'm about to go take my lunch break. I think I'm going to go to the co-op and get a salad. I hope that they have the blueberry vinaigrette that I like. Jesus Christ! It's my mom's just like, it's funny how seamless you go from like just you're ready to like impale someone on the road to like everything's cool. I'm gonna go get my blueberry vinaigrette from the salad, and I'm like, if I could set you on fire, I would.
That's somebody that watched cartoons growing up, folks.
Yes. The drawn cartoons, not the computer animated joints. The ones where it was like the flip book.
Right.
Like 15 pictures basically looked almost the same, except for like a millimeter of a leg was different.
Yep. Man, stuff took time.
Stuff took effort. That's when stuff was good. That's how I learned classical music. And I didn't even know that I knew that much classical music till I was an adult. And I was like, this Bugs Bunny shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, I was in college, like the first time I was in college. And I was like...
Man, you heard it on Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes and stuff.
Yeah, like, if you don't... We watching Looney Tunes in a
Tom
minute?
and
Like,
Jerry
what's
had
happening?
the big bands playing.
Loved Tom and Jerry.
Yep.
No dialogue at all, except when they had, like, the racist-ass Mammy.
Oh, yeah.
I'ma hit you with my broom! With her fucking flip-flops with socks on and her red Aunt Jemima headscarf. You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I can see her.
Which back then, I didn't... I swear to God. Today it hits different.
I swear to God, when I was watching that, I was like, yo, it's a black woman on the cartoon.
Yes, which was like, wow, that's awesome. But now I'm like, you put the most stereotypical Mrs. Butterworth looking bitch in this fucking... It's like when the newscasters show up and they want to find like the most ghetto person to interview.
They always talk to that person.
They always do. So yes, Tom and Jerry did that. Tom and Jerry, but I remember being younger, being like, oh my God, there's a black person. Y'all,
my cake
you
is
done
gonna be
messed
flat.
up my sweet potato pie. I'm gonna beat you with a switch on Tomcat. Like, oh, fuck out of here if you don't stop it, Hanna-Barbera.
That's so accurate.
I can't.
Yes.
I'm mad I'm remembering this now. I just ruined Tom and Jerry for myself.
She said, you messed up my sweet potato
then you remember they had
pie.
the couple. And that was like the nice white couple. And like the lady was always in high heels. And the husband was always at work. And there was only like humans in a few episodes. But that was always like... They had the really nice house with the fireplace where, like, they would leave and then, like, they'd open up the window and all the other fucking cats would party in the house.
Yep.
Not at Aunt Jemima's fucking house. No.
She had mice.
Yep, right. That's when Jerry's fam showed up.
Right. That's when Jerry had cousins and nephews and shit.
Bringing cousin Roach and shit over. Like,
man,
stop it.
Crazy.
I don't realize that until I was older. But like back then, I was just glad to see a black person in a cartoon.
Yo. Oh, man.
And now I'm like, you racist motherfuckers.
Yo, that was so of the time. Oh my God. I mean, I was watching some video on YouTube. And I was watching a wrestling review. I was watching Brian Zane Wrestling with Regret review. And he was doing one of the joints from 1999. And I remember being a kid watching it. So then it was a match where they had Ivory, who was the champion, young, healthy female wrestler. Dope. She was wrestling against this lady named Mae Young or Fabulous Moolah, one of the two. Old, like 80, like very old. But very athletic for their age.
Okay.
It was dope. So the one lady, she gets up on the ramp and the girl kicks her off the ring apron. So she falls all the way to the floor. So as an adult, I sat back and I watched that and I saw that and I just started laughing my ass off. I was like, yo, that lady is dead.
You killed this old lady. That's a hate crime.
You just killed the old lady on live TV
right,
in front of all these
she is a geriatric.
kids.
You need to put some respect on that woman.
And then she was beating up the other old lady. I'm like, yo, you are really beating
That's
up
why there's
old...
bum fights now. Did you hear about that article? There was like 3 women, probably in North Carolina, I think it was actually, that was having like a fucking fight club with old folks with dementia. They was making them fight each other because they wouldn't even remember.
I want to laugh.
It's terrible. It's so awful. You better laugh when we stop recording, Donald.
That's so bad.
It's terrible.
That's so
But
bad.
like, it's shit like this. That's why we got bum fights now. I can't even.
Yo, wrestling really set you up. That's what I'm saying. Like, it just, like, during that time, you could put that on TV and people would laugh and laugh and laugh. I did not understand as a young kid how hilarious that was to see that old woman fall down like that.
That's not funny.
That is hilarious.
That's not funny.
She's a professional falling person. That's her job.
But she's still old. She could hurt herself at this age.
She did not. She lived.
Well, I'm glad that
she
did, but still, you don't need to be beating up old ladies, even if it is fake ass wrestling.
Oh, that shit was funny as hell, man. But this goes back to The Rock. He was a guy who people hated because he was trying to be a good guy. I'm going to eat my Wheaties and win.
Wrestling likes their villins, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the shittier, the better.
The problem with it is...
Same thing with UFC.
But we were in love with the villain because the hero was so goddamn corny and shoved down our throat. Mm-hmm. Listen, the hero... John Cena went through this as like a new guy. Roman Reigns, the newer guys go through this too. And I don't know if... It's like they don't know or something. Like, yo, you can't get your ass whooped for 12 minutes and 41 seconds, and then you start shaking a little bit. You hit them 3 times with these moves you do, and that's the match. Like, no, you can't do that. You're making the babyface guy seems like he can't fight, but he got these 3 moves. So it's like you become a 3-move guy. You're done, right. So now I want to see the villain, because the villain going to give me a promo. The villain going to dress up. He got smoke. He's cussing. You know what I mean? Stone Cold came out and was like, I don't care what y'all talking about.
Did he have a cat? No, not a cat. What was it? A valet.
Yeah, he had a valet. Okay. Valet was his, at this point, his ex-wife, Terry, or Deborah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And she just walked down with him and talked sometimes. Like, she didn't do nothing crazy as far as what I saw, but she could have been doing all types of dope shit backstage. You know what I'm saying? She was walking down with her man. They traveled together, you know. I'm hoping they put together ideas and stuff, you know. But it's like, it's just like, yo, if you watch that shit, you kind of get it. They had Gold Dust on the show, so you got used to seeing a man who was androgynous. He wasn't officially like, I'm Gold Dust, give me some dick or pussy. You know what I mean? He wasn't
Take
like that.
all the parts.
Right. He was just like, we thought it was like a mind game at one point. They tried to play it like he's playing mind games with his opponent, but he really not like that. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, we don't know what he's like. That's him. And he made that character phenomenal, and he don't get no credit for it.
I feel like everybody should be like that. Like, why do we even have labels? We're just us.
Because people need their labels.
I know.
Old people need their labels. Young people are pretty much working it out.
Yeah.
But y'all creating new labels to replace the old labels to not have labels, like,
or just create like one bigger label that eliminates a few other labels, and it's just more of an umbrella label. I'm okay with that. That's how we make more labels by
mistake.
Yeah. You know, it is what it is. I'm just going to do my best to keep up and not offend people.
That's what you do. That's what you do in this day and age.
For real.
You know, but...
And if you fuck up, say sorry. I know it's hard to do, even for me.
And some people, I mean, listen, some people just are soft. And I don't mean that in an abusive way. I just mean some people are more delicate than others. So if I say, oh, why you wearing that? You gay? You could say yes. If you are, right? You could just be like, asking. Right, you can be like, yes. I didn't think anybody even knew. Yeah, and if you know anybody, you know, who's looking, you got friends. You know what I mean? It was really good. I mean, you can have that. And there's some people who have that swagger. And then there's some people who are like, hey, mind your motherfucking business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really does have to come back to a people place where people are having communication with each other and not
Absolutely.
labels are having conversations with each other.
And you never know what each other person is going through outside of whatever. You know, we all know the tip of the iceberg that is another person's life. So what they're going through at home, at work, internally, whatever, like we don't know. And that could be why they had that reaction that day or why they did that thing, or that could be why I responded that way or anything, you know. And it's hard to keep that in mind and like not take things personal, but I just feel like if, and I, again, myself included, I struggle with that because I'm all like, what do you mean don't take it personal? Like, you did it to me. Like, so I'm in that boat as well, you know? Like, we all just kind of need to take a beat and, like, pause for a second and,
True.
You know, like, what's their motivation and what's my motivation behind these feelings? Like, is this person just wilding out today? And if so, maybe they're just going through some things. And instead of being offended, it's like, hey, are you okay? Like,
right.
You know, like you never know. And instead of being like, oh, you okay? You know, maybe you need to approach it as more like a, hey, you okay type of way. Like, I mean, maybe they are having a shitty day. Maybe they need someone to talk to. Maybe they'll say, I'm fine and still be shitty. You never know. You can only control how you feel about it and how you react and respond to it. And it's also, again, something I struggle with. And at the end of the day, like, as long as I feel like I did my best in that situation, like, I try not to harp on it too much anymore and let it eat up my energy. Like, even, you know, with, like, some other issues we were talking about off the mic, like, I'm now just to the point where it's just like, okay, like, I've wasted enough of my energy on feeling this way. Mm-hmm. And my feeling this way towards somebody doesn't affect how they fucking feel. Like, they don't give a shit that I'm in an angry space or that I'm annoyed or any of those things. So, like, why waste those emotions on that person? So, like, it's hard to get there and it's tiresome to get there. But, like, once you get there, it's a very liberating and freeing feeling to be like, okay. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to do me. That person's still going to do them. We still have to coexist.
Right. Like I said, like, you got to, I know people, you have to, like, don't look for a fight.
Yeah.
Because you're going to find one.
Yep. You know
what I'm saying?
And I even feel like I was in that space for a while, too, where I was just like, well, everything's annoying me because I'm looking for everything to annoy me.
Right, I'm waiting for something to happen.
Like, I'm peeping out the scenery, wishing a nigga would. Like, right. And if you have that mindset, you gonna get what you was looking for. So
eventually, and you're gonna waste that time in between when none of that was happening because you didn't finish creating it yet.
Yeah. So
it's like, yo, I've gotten a lot of really good, positive opportunities lately. And I know it's because I've been practicing gratitude and discipline and consistency. Just those three. I mean, I'm dropping the ball in a whole bunch of other areas.
But it's all
I'm picking
progress.
those three up because
progress
they're really
is
important.
Progress.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, if I'm consistent, people will see that I'm not a creep or a jerk or a weirdo or whatever.
You're a total weirdo. But
Excuse me, I am. I'm a weirdo.
I love your weirdness.
I appreciate that. I thought it was like a cute brand of weirdness where it was like likable. Some people don't.
Some people don't like it.
They don't care for it at all.
Yeah. It's a specific weirdness, but it's one that I appreciate.
I feel like they think they want me to be somebody that I could be. You know what I'm saying?
My weirdness is not always appreciated either.
That's a shame.
So that's why I appreciate yours.
Well, I appreciate that. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. Come back to us week after week.
Comment, subscribe, and follow 50 for bars. You should make that a hashtag.
50 for bars. We're going to do a whole track out here. And don't forget to check out the channel in general. You know, you might see some else you like, some poetry, some rap, some ratchet, some positive. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, keep an eye out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. A chilling adventure _ in between each word, and at Capital DC Presents. And on behalf of Deanna, at Deanna by Design. You know what I mean? We out here.
At all the things. So yes, comment, follow, like, all that jazz. Leave questions. We'll talk about whatever you guys want us to talk about within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's like too personal, I won't. But I'll talk about most things.
Hey, I'm an open book.
Yeah, we just out here telling stories.